Welcome back, everybody, to SPL Live. Wrapping up week 4 here for SPL.
It's been 4 weeks.
It has been 4 weeks already.
Jeez.
Great job to all of the trainers that have been kicking butt these past 4 weeks. It's been a month, and you know something? Things have been going really, really well. But we'll go ahead and jump right into our top 14 or Elite 14 as we have it. This week, we have some huge changes that have been taking place. Francis Bautista now currently holds the number 1 spot with 44 points on the week, or in the season so far, 10, 2, and 4. Just really crazy. He brought some spice this week that a lot of people I don't think were really expecting. So T will get into that. Terry coming in at 43 with 11, 3, and 1 for the season, doing really, really great as well. T is holding down the number 3 spot with 42 points, 12 wins, 0 losses, and 3 ties. I think this was probably the biggest struggle week that he's had all season.
Oh my gosh.
Since SPL started. So very, very tough there. Mike got back from his vacation from last week. And his week wasn't that great either. He only earned 3 points, putting him at 4th with 40 points. And, you know, to round out the top 5, just to cut it up, we have a newcomer, Tyler Newman, who I don't think a lot of people were expecting, but he holding down the 5th spot with 37 points, 10 wins, 6 losses. Oh, wait, no, sorry. 12 wins, 2 losses. 1 tie for Tyler. So, like I said, this week has been pretty surprising. There's been a lot of shakeups that have happened in the Elite 14. Some good, some bad. Mostly the bad for me, as I dropped down to 14th place after being 8th to end last week. I lost a trainer battle to Soren, which I should have never done.
Hey, but you're still in there, and that's what matters.
I am still in there, but once again, I'm backing my way into the playoffs as I do traditionally every season. But you know, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the lead on this one. What things stood out to you in week 4?
The things that stood out to me, one, obviously, I had a struggle bus of a week. The most points I earned prior to today, which is Tuesday, was 4 points. And Mike also earning only 3 points this week. This lets you know that it's getting real competitive right now.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Mike earning 3 points was me. I played him on, I think it was Friday night or Thursday night. I think it was Friday night. It was his second day, the only other day that he could play this week after coming back from vacation. Normally he whoops my ass when he comes to me playing Mew versus his Lugia deck, because, you know, the guy likes to play 2 T-Tars in it, plus the Evoltol. But mop the floor with that guy. He had no chance. So you're welcome, everybody. I held Mike to only 3 points this week. Plus, I think he lost his trainer battle.
Yeah.
Which was also...
He lost a trainer battle, too.
Very funny.
So he only earned 3 points this week. I got mopped the floor with this week.
It was a tough week.
Yeah, I tried to do a little different things. I tried to play different decks because I didn't want to just play the same thing. So I played... What? I played Mew one day. I think I played Mew Saturday. I played Tinglu on Sunday. I got mollywopped both days. Monday I played Lugia. Worst decision of my life. And then today I ended up playing Tina, and I finally got some real points. I got 8 points today. So, oh my goodness.
Which Tina?
Lost Box Tina.
Oh man,
yeah.
Feels like someone knew that deck was going to be good this season.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But other than that, you know, top 14 really switched up. I mean, Mike and I not being first and second is a shock to me.
First time this season, or close to first time.
Yeah, close to first time, because we've been battling with Francis all season.
Yeah, Francis has been up there.
But you know, Terry coming in taking second. You know, congrats to Terry. You know, he's been grinding. He's been grinding hard this season.
I think he's someone that has been kind of under the radar, especially when, you know, we're recording SPL Live. We don't really cover Terry too much, but the man has consistently been doing well week in and week out. Yeah. I feel like he's one of those players or trainers that I guess would be comparable to other sports where they're there all along,
Yeah.
and it's in plain sight, and you just don't really give them that recognition until it's too late.
Miami
and
Heat.
they're standing on the table doing DX suck
Yeah.
it to you because they're in the championship, and
Yeah.
Terry feels like that guy this year. That, one, he didn't get a lot of recognition for us going into the season with our top 5 trainers to
And
look
he
out
made
for.
sure we knew
He definitely made sure
that he heard that.
and then since then, just consistently churning out solid week after week after week to the point where he's sitting there once again at second place with 43 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. He's been playing Chen Pao mostly, right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
been playing water a lot.
Chen Pao main, and which has been, really great in the sense that he's probably one of the people that are keeping that deck alive.
Yeah.
in our league.
Yeah, him, Francis, and Clayton?
Yeah, I think Clayton's list is ridiculous, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I played it, and he's like, a couple weeks ago, he goes, I said, what deck should I play, Mew or Guardy? He's, play Guardy. Guardy will be fun. And then we sit down, and he just destroys me and my soul to the point where Corinne buried me the following day.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, going back to Terry, just the man, he stayed faithful to that deck. He's really showing what it's capable of. And I mean, Terry's skill set is much more than what I think we gave it credit for to start the season. So Terry, huge shout out to you, man. Keep kicking ass. Keep proving us wrong. And, if you make it to the championship, my money's going to be on you. Unless it's against me.
Yes.
Or maybe Mike. But I don't think Mike's getting there this season. So what do I know? Outside of that, we skipped over the number 1 person, not really giving them their shine. But
he's going to get his flowers later.
Francis Bautista, 44 points. Once again, he got a huge jump from the kickoff, which we talked about previously last week, and he's maintained that steady performance.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing is, normally he plays very off the wall decks.
Yeah.
To say the least. He started off the season mostly playing Zorobox, which I tied him one time, and he did really well with that, which leads him to have 10 wins, 2 losses, and 4 ties.
Yeah.
But this week he kind of surprised everybody with his deck choice as well. So I think we'll get into that a little bit later.
We'll go into that later.
Yeah, but anybody else that surprises you or someone that you want to highlight for this week that kind of just came out of nowhere for you?
It came out of nowhere. We have, Tanner won Monday. Yeah. Was it Monday? Yeah. Yep. Tanner won Monday.
Big
4-0. 4-0 with Guardy. So that gave him a real big boost, especially after being gone for NAIC, coming back, being consistent. I think he got his 9 points last week, and then just getting 12 points again this week makes up for all of the time missed. And, he stayed pretty consistent. He's sitting at, 6th place? So, shout out to Tanner for, holding it down. And then we got We got Dylan at 7. We don't want to talk about him.
Dylan and his brother, the Brandows as a whole, have been staples in the top, Elite 14 since the league started.
Yeah, fact.
I think Luke and Dylan have made the Elite 14, or at least one of them have made it every season so far. So they're kind of, in a weird way, kind of expected to be up there.
They're fan favorites.
Tyler, someone that's relatively new, they've done. He's done a really great job. He wound up having a strong week in and week out performance. He's sitting in the 5th place right now.
Yeah.
Two that have kind of surprised me, not in a way where I don't think that they could do it. It happened so quickly.
Yeah.
E-Man and Luis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel, someone that I love the guy. Me and him talk probably more than I ever thought that I would talk to him.
Right.
But he messages me time and time again, talking about different decks and things like that. And he's stuck with Tina Lost Box as well.
Yeah.
Which I think right now is a really solid choice. It has a really good matchup against a lot of things. And he's been piloting it so well since the beginning of the season. Luis, on the other hand, he kind of dips in between decks. He played tonight, right?
He played tonight. I don't even know what he played because, all of my games, well, a majority of my games went to time today, and then so did his. So we never got to see what the other was playing.
But I know that Luis is the one person where I played him enough in lab to know that when he gets the ball rolling, he does really, really well.
Yeah.
And he can pull it off. Now, sometimes he gets stuck in a loop, and then he doesn't slow play, but he just doesn't play. And he'll sit there. I remember one time in the past where we were watching him play with Urshifu, and he was sitting there trying to figure out how to take 4 prizes in one turn, and there was no possible way. But he kept sitting there thinking about it over and over.
Hold on, I got time. I remember that.
But I mean, these players that we're talking about now have really kind of stood the test of time. We're a month into the league. I guess you would say 3/4 of the or
a quarter,
a third of the way.
Yeah.
Right. 11 weeks, 12 weeks total with everything else, and it's just been really, really neat to see these performances. The Elite 14 does not look like what I thought it would look like when the season started.
Fair.
And where we are now.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the more surprising but also fun aspects of the league is anybody can come in and make an impact.
Yeah.
Which is so neat. You look at someone like Corinne as well, 13th place. They're sitting there with 34 points, 9 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie. They also are getting a little bit of boost from the kickoff. But once again, someone that's come in playing Mew, playing Ting Lu, which is very annoying. They're very Corinne is very similar to T, playing annoying decks. I think they even shared decks at some point, swapping them out.
Don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, it's the Elite 14 is very, very neat. The some of the top trainers in there right now are just. It makes me excited to see what the championship series may look like when we get there, and seeing all this creativity and this new blood infused into something where we've seen a lot of standard people. I mean, Chris Davis had one hell of a week. Last week, and he's sitting just outside the top or the Elite 14. Bautista, Bautista,
sitting outside top 14 is still stacked.
It's an avalanche of really solid training. Saldana had 10 points to end the week 14 at CCC. So like I said, there's just a logjam of quality trainers sitting on the outside looking in, and it's going to be a fist fight going down towards the very end. And we keep telling you guys, those trainer battles are eventually going to matter, and eventually people are going to have to start doing them.
So somebody battle me.
If they want to break away from the pack, that's going to be the biggest thing. And also, just to those out there, at the end of the season, when we have our award show, trainer battles, the person that wins the most is going to get a nice little prize for winning that thing and bringing it home.
Don't worry about it. I got it.
Oh, gosh. But, I mean, outside of that, was there anything else that surprised you, to wrap up week 4?
No, actually. Take that back. I have a lot. What surprised me? Saldana going 301. This was a really big breakout. I've been expecting this from him for a minute, so I'm glad to see it happen. So him going 301, especially with Lost Box, the man is a menace. He was battling for first place in points and first place for league too last season. So I expected this breakout, but
you did call him in your top 5.
Yeah, I needed it to come sooner, but I'm glad it came today. So that was a nice little surprise for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything has gone almost as I've expected. Not me doing as bad as I did this week, but everything's gone almost as expected.
I feel like I've been pretty on par with a lot of the decisions or observations and things that I've made. Nothing has truly surprised me this week. I feel like, outside of the Elite 14 being what it is right now, we're just seeing an infusion or an influx of new trainers that are coming in, making a name for themselves. Really, you see time and time again different people topping at our locals and so on. It's been quite the show. But as an observer right now, be it that I earned my points earlier in the week and got to kind of watch the rest of the week unfold. It's pretty neat. I like entering in the points at the end of every night, seeing the different trainers doing what they're doing. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
But moving over from there, we could go ahead and jump into our new segment. This is going to be a new fun one that we like to call T's Meta Call of the Week. This is a chance for T to highlight a trainer that came in with the right call at the right time to take advantage of a local and really shine bright. And I think this week T has a really fun one, kind of almost a callback from season 1 of SPL.
Yeah.
That's I would say surprising to a lot of people.
Very surprising.
All right, go ahead, take it off.
All right, so T's Meta Call of the Week is Francis Bautista. I told you I was going to give the man his flowers. We're going to do it right now. Playing Darkrai, Turbo Dark, of all things. What year is it, honestly? But the man has been playing it all week, and he has done very well for himself. He went 4-0 at Adventures, netting him 12 points, and then he decided, just because he did that and he had some time to kill, he was going to point block everyone else.
He did that.
So he went to just about every other local just to point block. But I think Darkrai is a pretty good call, and he said it himself. Obviously, it's a dark typing, so it hits Gardevoir EX for weakness. It doesn't get hit for weakness by anything relevant in the meta. Let's put it like that.
Masquerada's out there.
Yeah, Masquerada doesn't exist. But yeah, it's pretty consistent. It got Squawkabilly in the new set, so that helps it, turbo. Yeah. Also, Squawkabilly has a really good attack for that deck because Motivate nets you 2 dark energies from the discard pile. So, anytime, anywhere, somebody can get it.
Can I just throw this out there? If you're using Motivate as one of your attacks...
Motivate.
I feel like that those 2 dark energies might not necessarily be that great in that situation.
You never know, though.
So, here's my question, right? So, I played Francis on Friday night, Mew. I actually wound up getting a win against him. Mm-hmm. He still beat me in the match, but I wound up getting a win with Mew, which I'm going to take pride in because... Yep. I should lose that match.
100%.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, do you feel like he how do I want to say this? Do you feel like he did enough, or he was lucky enough to dodge the bad matchups, or do you think it was just perfect timing on the call?
I think a combination of both, because on Saturday, I know there was a room full of bad matchups, but there was also a room full of solid matchups for him as well. So him going 4-0 was insane. I know he beat, what was it, Arceus Tina in like the last round where he went 4-0, and that was well deserved. They kind of bricked, but it was well deserved. So that was one even matchup in the room, and he took it home there. As for like the rest of the week where he point blocked, he dodged every bad matchup in the room. I'll tell you that right now. I was there.
And see, and this is the funny thing is, it feels like lately, if anybody's playing Lost Box, it's the Tina variant. Yeah. It feels like that's the most popular one right now. Outside of a handful of people that are still playing the Kyogre or the Dragonite with the Raikou and everything else. And then from there, you're really seeing Chen Pao with some of the players, the Arc Toolbox decks that you're starting to see more of, Guardy, and so on. So it feels like, even though right now you would sit there and go, man, that deck shouldn't be doing as well as it does.
Yes.
I feel like with the amount of Vs that you're seeing being played more and more, or big Pokemon, Darkrai does come back and does really well. I mean, Soren and I think a handful of other people are playing Rapid Strike Box right now as well. So, yeah, I feel like I think you're right. I think this is probably the meta call of the week when it came to looking at what's out there in the league and going, I have a plan for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the cross switchers are in there, the Pokestops.
The Pokestop.
Yeah, just everything that the guy would want. I mean, he opened up on me a few times and just his opening board was set and everything that he had. It was pretty cool to see Darkrai being successful again. Gengar. But outside of that, are there any honorable mentions that you have? Anything that you could think of where you go, That's a really good call right now.
I have plenty of honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with the two being, Ryan and JJ. I know we talked about E-Man playing, Lost Zone Tina, and he's been playing it very consistently. Ryan and JJ basically same 60'd into Adventures on Monday, and they got first and second. And JJ also took Tina to a 4-0 on Friday.
Yeah.
So
he beat Soren in his Rapid Strike.
Yep. I'm going to give Ant his recognition right now that he was right. He may have been spot on about Lost Zone Tina. Lost Zone Tina has been a very consistent deck for many different trainers aside from myself. Consistently throughout the season. Ryan's played it, E-Man's played it, I know Edgar's played it, I've played it, he's played it, and we've all seen, a
lot of success with
a lot of success, like varying success. So that is definitely a call right now. What counters it, I don't know, but it's a pretty good deck moving forward, and I just gotta shout them out.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when we look back on the time where we had best in format, we chose our top 5 decks heading into the new season. Like I said, there was always something about Tina when it first came out that so many people got the pieces, put it together, and I think they were just waiting for that right opportunity for it to be the deck that they wanted to play. And once again, with so many more big builds coming out with Arceus, I think that's the way that you counter a lot of the Lost Box decks.
Yeah.
Is coming out and saying, I'm just going to have big Pokemon. Rapid Strike box is ridiculous against Lost Box.
Yeah.
To the point where it's not even it's
almost not fair.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool, move it. But going back to it is having that Mon that can come in and take huge KOs, while also putting out huge damage, and then being able to clean things up with Sableye just feels unfair.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that always stuck out in my head, and the reason why I said it was going to be my top deck. And I feel like so far I'm proven right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a lot of the top trainers in our league this season have been playing that deck. And I think it'll stay pretty consistent until someone comes out with something that's going to counter it hard. And right now, I just don't know what does.
If Obsidian Flames changes anything,
I mean, Charizard is coming.
That card's not good.
But moving on from there, we could probably jump into the last segment. You guys all know it is Deck Out. This is where we go ahead and cover the most important little stories or news information that we have coming out for the upcoming week. And I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into it if you're fine with it.
Yep.
We have a competition committee. A lot of people don't necessarily know that, but we do have a competition committee. You can find them on the SPL website. It's consistent, or essentially the way that it works is Mike, who is essentially in charge of our operations from a competitive standpoint, created this committee. He gets to pick the people that are on it. And the committee for this season is Tyler Newman, Andrew Saldana, China Ross, and Terry. These 4 trainers get together and they talk about rulings and basic things that happen within the league that everybody should essentially abide by in order to kind of create a cohesion of unity and understanding when it comes to rules and how they're implemented. Now, with that being said, you can go once again find that information on the SPL website under league information. This dives into the next thing, which is bye weeks and makeup weeks. Now, anytime that you're going to be taking a bye week, the competition committee is decided that you need to go ahead and let us know ahead of time. Let me, T, or Mike know ahead of time that you will be taking the bye week, primarily because we can go ahead and document it, make sure that it's put in so no one's getting anything that's mixed up or losing points that they shouldn't be losing. Now, that's one thing. But the big thing is the actual makeup week. Now, what we want to make sure is that if you're coming back after a bye week, you decide that you want to have a makeup week, you need to announce your makeup week in the SPL chat, Discord, or the actual Sacramento Pokemon Players chat. Let us know what's going on. Tag us in it. And you have to do this prior to the Thursday of the week.
Yeah.
So once again, we're heading into week 5. Let's say I took a bye week in week 2. I want to take my makeup week in week 5. I need to let me, T, or Mike know this prior to the start of Hammerhead on Thursday.
Yes.
If you don't do that, unfortunately, your best showing for that week will only count once. You won't be able to claim it twice. This is okay to make sure that we keep the competitive nature of the league viable. The way that I understand it is you just really don't want people to play Captain Hindsight here.
Yeah.
Have a never tell anybody about their makeup week, and then 3 weeks later have a good week randomly and go, oh, this is what I want to use as my makeup. We want to keep it competitive. We want to keep it fun, and I think this is the way that we do that. And I tend to agree with the competition committee. Moving on from there, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to T to talk about our next thing, which is very important as it was brought up by one of our shops.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, vending at other shops, that is a no-go. We want to respect the other stores that are, working with us in the league. We want to respect their rules and regulations. Therefore, if you feel the need to sell cards inside a shop, don't do it. You can take that outside. You can meet someone somewhere. But inside the shop is a no-go. I know this is a rule for most shops. I know this is a rule for Hammerhead. I know sometimes it's not a rule at USG, but by shop discretion, you want to make sure that you're abiding by their rules because they are accommodating us. So we want to return that respect to them by, following their rules, asking, hey, is this okay? If not, we can take this outside. But you don't want to be buying and selling with other players, other vendors that are not the shop that you are in. So I know Hammerhead doesn't allow it. CCC more times than not does not allow it. I know Adventures definitely doesn't allow it. So we just want to go ahead and show everyone the same respect that they've been showing us consistently throughout the season. And let's not do it. And if you feel the need to do it, just ask, hey, is this okay?
And I would like to throw in one other thing. Adventures has banned people for doing this in the past.
Yes.
So please be aware that it is 100% within the shop's discretion to be able to ban players from their shop for doing this thing. At the end of the day, the shops are businesses, and their business consists of selling cards. So if you're doing that, essentially you're undermining the shop itself that's given us the privilege or the help to host league events and do other fun things like that. So just please be respectful. If someone mentions something like they want to buy a card or things like that, maybe talk to the host. If they don't have that card, maybe that's when you can work something out. But the number one thing is we want to show respect to these shops, to the people that do it. Even if you go to a place that's open to it or has been open to it, at the end of the day, think about them, think about what matters, and big picture stuff. We care about the shops. We're a community, and we want to do right by everyone.
Yep.
Sound like a plan?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think the final thing we're going to wrap this up with is, guys, I am a human being. And I would like to say that if any of you have noticed that your points are not 100% correct heading into the new week, even looking back on the weeks, please let me know so I can correct this. I just had a trainer tonight reach out to me and go, hey, I noticed that my points were incorrect back in week 3. Can you please update those? And I did it. No problem whatsoever. But we want to make sure that we try to get this done within a certain amount of time so, the standings look as correct as possible. So please double check your points. If you're having any issues with them, get a hold of me. I will hop on that post haste. I work for a living. I have a full-time job, but I will drop everything that I am doing, including being a father, to take care of your points.
You have no idea. He is serious.
I 100% will do this because you know what? I care. SPL, hold my hand. SPL cares.
Yes.
right? So just throw that out there, guys. Please make sure that you correct me and let me know.
Hey, I think I'm missing like
No, you're not.
3 points. I should be ahead of Francis.
He's not at all. So other than that, guys, this is going to wrap up SPL Live. This was, I think, a slightly shorter show than what we normally host. But thank you again for joining us, and we will catch you guys at Locals.
Deuces.
Peace. I love this stuff.
Yeah, I do too.